My name is Olivia. I am 25 years old. I grew up in a small house in South Chicago. My mom raised me alone. She was strong, but tired. Every morning she left before sunrise. Every night she came home with aching feet. I watched her, and I promised myself one thing. I will not be helpless. I will be someone who helps. So I became a nurse. It took me 4 hard years, late nights, long exams, empty bank accounts. But I did it. And when I got my license, I held that paper in my hands and felt like I could breathe for the first time. Then I got the call about the Jeff family. The Jeff estate was not in Chicago. It was 40 minutes outside the city, a long private road, tall iron gates, a stone house with 4 floors and more rooms than I could count. I was hired to care for Mr. Jeff. He was 68 years old. His lungs were bad. He needed medicine every few hours. He needed steady, calm care. I moved into the East Wing, a small but beautiful room. Cream walls, a real fireplace, a window that looked over a garden. I had never slept somewhere so quiet in my life. Mr. Jeff was a gentleman. He called me Miss Olivia. He thanked me after every dose of medicine. He told long stories about his life. I listened. I liked him. But I also noticed his son. His name was Alex. The first time I saw Alex, he was standing in the hallway outside his father's room. He was tall, dark hair, sharp jaw. He was wearing a black sweater and he had a coffee cup in his hand. He looked at me when I walked out of his father's room. He said nothing for a moment. He just looked. Then he said, "You're the new nurse." I said, "Yes, I'm Olivia." He nodded slowly. His eyes were gray. They stayed on my face a bit too long. I looked away first. The first real moments between us was on my 3rd week there. Mr. Jeff had a rough night. His oxygen was low. I sat beside his bed from midnight until almost 4 in the morning. Alex came in around 2. He didn't say anything. He just sat in the chair on the other side of his father's bed. We sat in the dark together. The only sound was the oxygen machine and the rain on the windows. At some point, I fell asleep in the chair. I woke up just before dawn. There was a blanket over me. I hadn't had one before. I looked across the bed. Alex was still there. His eyes were open. He was watching me. My face went warm. He said softly, "You were cold." I pulled the blanket tighter and said nothing, but my heart was already beating faster than it should have been. After that night, things changed slowly. He started bringing me coffee in the mornings. He started sitting with me in the garden when I took my afternoon breaks. He made me laugh, really laugh. He asked about my life, and he listened to every word. One afternoon, about 6 weeks in, we were in the library. It was raining outside. He was reading. I was writing up Mr. Jeff's daily report. The room was warm. The fire was on. He got up to get a book from a high shelf. He reached up and his shirt lifted slightly. I looked away fast, but not fast enough. He looked over at me. He caught me. A slow smile crossed his face. He said nothing. He came and sat down closer to me than before. My skin felt warm everywhere. That was the night he kissed me for the first time. We were walking back from the garden. It was dark. He stopped walking and turned to me. He put one hand gently against my jaw. He looked at me for a long moment. Then he kissed me softly. I felt it through my whole body. For 2 months, I lived inside something I had never felt before. He held my hands under the dinner table when his family wasn't looking. He texted me late at night. He left small things outside my room door. A flower once, a note once, a chocolate bar with a tiny note that said, "Thinking of you." One night, he came to my room after a long day. He was tired. I let him in. We sat on the edge of my bed and talked for hours. He fell asleep first. I lay there in the dark, feeling his warmth beside me. His breathing was slow and steady. I felt his breath against the back of my neck. I stared at the ceiling and thought, this is real. This has to be real. I was wrong. It happened at a party. His friends were over, rich boys in expensive clothes. They laughed loud. They drank too much. I was walking through the side hallway carrying Mr. Jeff's evening medicine when I heard my name through a cracked door. One voice said, "So what's the status? You win yet?" A second voice laughed. "He's been going for 2 months. I give him the money when she's fully in love with him." A third voice, Alex's voice, said something low. Then laughter followed. The first voice again, "Nurse from Southside? Classic. Easy target, man." I stood very still. My hand gripped the medicine bottle so tight my knuckles went white. Easy target. That was me. That was what I was. Not a woman he cared about, not someone special, just a target, a game, a joke for bored rich boys with too much money. I walked back to my room. I packed my bag in 8 minutes. I left Mr. Jeff a note. I said I was so sorry. I said I had a family emergency. I left his medicine schedule on the nightstand in perfect order. I walked out into the cold night and I did not look back. I cried in my car for 20 minutes before I could drive. That was 9 months ago. Today is my wedding day. His name is Marcus. He is a firefighter. He grew up 3 blocks from me. He is steady and solid and real. He loves me in a plain, honest way. He brings me soup when I'm sick. He remembers small things I tell him. He holds my hand when we walk. He asked me to marry me in my mom's kitchen with a simple ring and shaking hands. I said yes because I was ready to be loved right. The wedding is at a small church in Bridgeport. White ribbons on the pews, roses on the altar. My dress is simple and beautiful. My mom cried when she zipped it up. Everything is perfect. And then the storm hits. It comes from nowhere. The sky turns the color of a bruise. Thunder cracks loud over the church. Rain hammers the windows. Lightning splits the sky outside. The lights flicker. Then the power cuts out completely. It is dark. The guests move to the main hall. Marcus goes with the pastor to check the fuse box. My bridesmaids run to find candles. I am alone in the small side room. I stand by the window in my wedding dress. The rain is loud and heavy. My bouquet is in my hands. I breathe slow. Then the door opens. He steps inside. Alex. He is soaking wet. His dark hair is flat on his face. His shirt is soaked through. He is breathing hard like he ran a long way in the rain. I step back. My back almost touches the wall. He holds up one hand. He says, "Please, don't go. Just 2 minutes. I say, "You need to leave." He says, "I know, I will. I just need you to hear me." I say nothing. He steps closer. The room is small. He is very close now. I can feel the cold and rain coming off his skin. I can smell him, the same way he always smelled. Something in my chest pulls hard toward him. I push it down. He says, "It started as a bet. I won't lie to you. In the beginning, it was a stupid, terrible bet." I look away from his face. He says, "But Olivia, look at me. I don't want to. I do anyway." His gray eyes are red at the edges. He looks like he hasn't slept in days. He says, "It stopped being a bet the night I put that blanket over you, and I have hated myself every single day since you left." He reaches slowly into his wet jacket. He pulls out something small, a folded piece of paper in a plastic sleeve. He holds it out. I take it with shaking fingers. I unfold it. It is a letter, dated the day after I left. His handwriting, messy and fast, like he wrote it with shaking hands. "Olivia, I let you go because I was a coward. I didn't chase your car. I sat on the porch steps and I let you drive away, and I have not been okay since. I don't know if you'll ever read this, but I need you to know it was real. All of it. You were the first real thing I ever had." My throat closes. He says quietly, "I left, Olivia, 6 months ago. I walked out of that house. No money, no trust fund. I have an apartment in Wicker Park. I work at a firm downtown. Starting over." He pulls back the wet sleeve of his shirt. On the inside of his wrist, a tattoo. Small, dark letters. South Side. Where I'm from. Where he chose to come back to. I feel tears on my cheeks. I don't wipe them. My hands are still shaking. He steps close, very close. His hand rises slowly. His fingers brush my face. Just once, just barely. He wipes one tear with his thumb. My skin burns where he touches. He whispers, "I'm not asking you to choose me. You deserve better than me. I know that. I just couldn't let you walk into the rest of your life thinking none of it was real." He steps back. He looks at me one last time. My face, my dress, the flowers in my hands. Then he turns and walks out the door. The rain slows. Light comes back through the window, pale and soft after the storm. I hear the organ starting inside the church. I hear my name being called softly from the hallway. I am standing in the middle of the room. The letter is in one hand. My bouquet is in the other. My heart is beating so hard I can feel it in my throat. I look at the door he walked out of. Then I look at the door that leads to Marcus, to the altar, to the rest of my life. I close my eyes. I breathe. I take one step. Thanks for listening to my story. If you liked it, hit that subscribe button, drop a comment, and tell me where you're listening from.